Hi and welcome. And I just want to share with you how a struggling coach called Ruth generated over £15,000 of new business in the first 6 weeks of the lockdown, and how you can use parts of the same strategy to break through the six-figure bracket and finally make a positive impact. And by the way, she didn't do it without spending any money on ads. There was no doing a whole Facebook ad campaign or anything like that. It was a simple strategy that we put in place and implemented it, and she implemented it really well. And you might relate to Ruth because before now, she never got a consistent flow of new clients. She spent thousands of pounds over the years on the latest courses. She worked out that she'd spent over £40,000 on courses, all thinking it would be, the next best thing. She kind of did them, thought they were brilliant, and then just something wasn't working and something didn't click. She regularly downloaded ebooks that kept coming up on her profile, sort of promising how to make money from coaching. So she often downloaded them, read them, tried to implement some of the stuff, but nothing quite worked out right, because there's always an extra training that had to go on the missing link. And I think what we did was simplified a lot of the stuff that she had learned and put it into a really simple way that made it really effective. And she didn't have the money to spend anymore on these expensive courses, or even spend money on ads that didn't get any results. So in a way, it was quite fortuitous, because where she would have just kept on spending this way, she had to do something and realize, look, I need to do it. So that's almost the last chance I've got. And she's had massive results on the back of it. And I want to share with you in this quick presentation just the 3 breakthroughs with Ruth and how to niche effectively. And you might have heard all this before, like how to niche, and you understand it, but this might be something different that you've not heard before. And it was really a real key part of Ruth understanding how to get her message out there, then having a big message to back it up that simplified what she did. And then we simplified the journey of how to generate a lead and how to turn them into a client. And that was a big thing for her. Wasn't it she didn't know how all the different aspects, and you had to do this and had to do that, but because we simplified what that journey looked like from a client's point of view, it made it so much easier for her to generate new leads and new clients from it. And that's why she got a massive result quite quickly, and is continuing to, from this very day, having even more better results than that. Firstly, I just want to share with you that I'm Scott Campbell. I'm a marketing strategist and a sales funnel specialist, and I've generated over £30 million of business for my clients, often referred to as the man behind the coaches. My expertise in my corporate days was business turnaround projects. And what I was good at was because I was able to simplify strategies, and this meant that they were easy to implement, which turned into results quickly. So the strategy, there's lots of strategies out there that they're too complicated. You don't know how to understand how to simplify them, then you won't implement them. And if you don't implement them, you won't get results. Then I took this methodology and started using it with coaches to help them break through that six-figure bracket, which seems to be such a key part of that coaches are trying to generate, because you break through that six-figure bracket, it really allows you to help other people and make a positive impact that you want to in the world. So let's look at the 3 key parts that changed everything for Ruth. The first one was, we talked about how to niche down effectively. What I talk as the who, what, how, so it's easy to simplify. So we all understand this. You've got your niche, and when a lot of people do this, they tend to make the mistake of, I know who my niche is. My niche is females between the age of 35 and 45 that run a business, or it might be, it's female lawyers between the age of 45. So a lot of people do that. There's actually 3 parts and 3 big elements of actually niching down really effectively. The first part is exactly that. Who is your ideal client? And it might be that where it's a female aged between 35 and 55, or it might be a male accountant or a business owner that's running a business between, but a lot of people say that, it's a business owner, small business owner, or large businesses. But it's been really specific at this point. And the more specific you can get, the better it is. And when we talk about ideal clients, it might be not just go, a small business. It might be a small business that's a service-based business that's turning over less than £1 million. Or particularly with my coaches program, we talk about which I'm going to give you an example of a little later on, about the big message with that, is it's particularly coaches that want to break through that six-figure bracket and be able to make the impact that they want to make. So there's a bit more of an emotional tie in there. And it's a bit like, if you're very much in sort of where you're approaching mums, for example, you might say, oh, it's mums, but you can, what the emotional part of that might be more, oh, mums that want to start getting back a bit of their own identity. Yeah, so something like that where there's a bit of emotional in it. It's not just the specific around the ideal client about, oh, it's this person who lives here at this age. A bit more emotional about what they want. What do they want? And then the second key part of this is your products and services. Because one thing that we're all guilty of, and I've been guilty of this a lot in the past, is then having loads of different products and services. So when people say to me, oh, who do you like working with? Who's your ideal person? I'll say, oh, yeah, I like working with coaches. And then it's not been very clear at that point for me to go, and this is how I work with coaches because this is what I do, because I had so many different offerings. So be able to say that in a very brief 20-30 second gap was never possible. So what you have got really down now, part of the niching down, is niching down how many products or services you have. So you can be really clear. So at this point with coaches, we look at the coaches that want to break through that 6-figure barrier and make an impact. And the products and services is the VIP intensive program. So straight away, I've got who I niche down to and what I niche down with. Third part is how you want to deliver your program. So this is how you want to deliver your coaching. So do you want to deliver it one-to-one? Because in this simple part with, do that through a one-to-one coaching sessions, or if it's one-to-many, then it's through an online program, or it might be through an online course. So how you want to deliver your services now, this is where you can get a little bit selfish about how do I want to deliver? Do I want to deliver it one-to-one? Do I want to deliver it as a program? A bit like my coaches program, I want to deliver it as a program now, not as a one-to-one. So think about how you want to deliver. And when you've got all them three things added together about who exactly you want to work with, what it is you actually do, and how you deliver it, that becomes a really powerful niche step. That's you really effective with niching down, because once you know all these three elements, you become easily referable. So people really understand exactly who you help, what you do, and how you do it. So it makes it really, really easy for people to get to understand quickly what it is. And that's the whole key part. That's the one thing that really helped Ruth immensely with this part, because she really still didn't understand how to simply tell people what she did. And this was a big sort of key moment in terms of breaking it down, going, oh, well, actually, yes. And not allowing to kind of, well, who's your ideal client? Well, really any woman that's just come out of corporate, really. Well, that's, it wasn't really the situation, which, it wasn't defined enough. So when we defined all of this, it was a real breakthrough moment. Second key part is, what is your big message? So this was the second of the three things that was a real breakthrough for Ruth. And it's, what is your big message? And this is really important. So your big message, it's vital that people can understand really quickly what you do in less than 30 words. And that 30 words is quite specific, because people don't want loads of detail. When they put their hand up and say, oh yeah, I'm interested in that, I'd love to know more, that's when you can go into detail. But typically when someone asks us what we do, we then go into lots of detail, and it just loses people straight away. And I bet you've had that where you've asked people, what do you do? Or even as a coach, you really struggle to tell people what you do when you first meet them, because there's so many different elements and so many different aspects. And so it becomes difficult for you to really, and I see this a lot with coaches. I think one of the biggest things that I help coaches is really simplify this process for them, because getting people to understand exactly what you do, typically coaches find very difficult. So here's an example with my new program for coaches. So the program is specifically for coaches who want to have a 6-figure business as quickly as possible whilst making a positive impact. And that's 23 words, I think, if I'm right. And this is how we get to that big message. It's just looking at, now, looking at the three things. What are the three things that your ideal clients are actually asking for? And this is a really powerful exercise that you can do and continually do, because it might change. And it might be you think, well, I don't really know, and actually but then go and ask the question. There's loads of sort of Facebook groups now we can go in and sort of kind of just ask the question of, where if your ideal client's sitting there, and you can go, right, what the three things you need help with at the moment, what's the three things you're struggling with at the moment. And actually, if you go to sort of join some groups where your ideal clients are sitting, and you just spend time reading a lot of the posts, you'll soon get an idea of what it is people want. And a lot of the times we hear that talking about, and I talk about a lot about focusing on the result that you deliver, which is absolutely fantastic and absolutely right. But it goes more into about sharing the detail of how you get that result. And when you talk about the result that you deliver, to get people to understand what you do really quickly, is if you look at this with the three things that they're actually asking for, and then tie that into a big message, which is less than 30 words, it becomes really powerful. So the three things that my ideal clients are looking for is they want a six-figure business. They want it as quickly as possible because they've already spent a lot of money on other courses and it hasn't worked. And they want to make a positive impact. So this program is specifically for coaches who want to have a six-figure business as quickly as possible whilst making a positive impact. So when you look at them three things that your ideal clients are asking for at the moment, and it might go back to when you first start working with, if you've had some clients already, when you start working with them, if you look at the questions they ask you initially at the start, that'll give you a clue of what they actually really want at that stage. They've already bought into the fact of the result that you can deliver, but they're more interested in, now there's some different questions that they ask. And really, when you can touch on those in your big message, it becomes really powerful in attracting your ideal clients really good. And this was really key for Ruth. And understanding what really her niche was a massive breakthrough. And we ended up doing it. I mean, in the program, we're going to do it where we end up coming up with a year's worth of content just on the back of this. But it's really powerful initially of these three things that you're asking for, that your clients are asking for. And when you can get them into a big message that's less than 30 words, knowing who you want to deliver to becomes really super powerful. So I'd really urge you to spend time on this sort of thing. And what is it what clients are actually asking for? Yes, you've got the big result that you deliver, but it tends to be a little bit about you, and that will become really clear in a lot of stuff about what the result is you deliver. There's a way of bringing that in, but initially, to become easily referable, to become really easily understandable and get across exactly what it is that you do without going into loads of details, then this is really super powerful for that. The third part, which pieced it all together, was having a really simple journey for what I call my 5-step roadmap, really. And this is me simplifying it. I'll just go through this 5-step roadmap. We won't go into a lot of it into detail because it's probably, it's a good few hours worth of content in itself to go through it all. But we micro niche down, as what you've seen with the 3 aspects, the big message. So that was the 2 big important parts. Then there's a whole thing about how you deliver free micro content. So this is without using ads, using Facebook groups, but particularly well to generate leads easily. And then there's a free gated content that we set up, and then the email follow-up. So it's almost as simple as that, where you know your niche, you know your big message, so you understand that. That then allows you to go and deliver what your content is, and it's obviously some structure around that, around knowing what your business model is and the journey that you deliver through your clients, through your service. But then also having a free gated content, so a bit like this this video here, you might put it on that you request an email address, name an email address for people to go and have a look and to see it. And it's really valuable content that people need to put their email address in, and then you can do an email follow-up. And then the email follow-up, and this is kind of a really simple version of what a sales funnel should look like for coaches. And there's loads of software out there that really overcomplicate it. You might have used some of them, but this is kind of really the simple process. And bear in mind, we built a software, the simple funnel content, the simple funnel creator for SaaS businesses around this model. But this is really the simple funnel, if you like, for coaches. And you've got your Facebook or LinkedIn or any other medium that you use. This is what we use for Roof. We use Facebook and LinkedIn, and we just send them to a landing page, and we sent them to a gated video page. We also used some email data that we had and sent them directly to the video page. We didn't need to obviously bother with the landing page because we already had their email details in. And then predominantly from that video page, people take one of three actions. They either clicked on the sales page, they booked a one-to-one call, or they took no action. And if they took no action, this is where, going back to the simple roadmap, number 5 is the email follow-up. And there's to sit here where if at the end of your campaign, for example, you've got 10 new clients, 90% of them will have come from the email follow-up rather than the initial video and then booking a call. And the email follow-up is a whole different follow-up system. There'll be some other videos that'll be available from that. If something I talk about in talks a lot about what that email follow-up is. A bit long to go into now, but it's super powerful having a 4-stage email follow-up system. In the program, we actually give you all the templates and everything you need to do all of this, which is quite key. But that's the simple funnel that you need for a coach and to build and grow a successful coaching business. And the more you make it complicated, the actual more difficult it gets. And how you go and deliver content in here is a different thing in itself, but it's all very simplified. That's it in its simple thing. There are the 3 key things that really help Ruth. Now, if you need my help, you can take a look at my VIP intensive program for coaches. It's a program, as you know, specifically about for coaches to help you get a 6-figure business as quickly as possible, and whilst having that great life balance and still make a massive impact. What's unique about my program is that, I was a bit frustrated with a lot of different programs out there and going on a lot myself. But what's unique about my program is that 95% of the cost is only payable if you get massive results. So the whole program itself cost £8,000, but you only pay £400, and the rest is only payable if you get massive results. And not just if you get a few results, you have to pay it. It's just you get massive results. There's no small print. There's no, you have to jump through loads of loops. If you don't get massive results through it and earn a minimum of £16,000 extra business purely through it, then you won't have to pay a single thing ever again. It's as simple as that. And that's purely me putting my money where my mouth is, if you like, that I'm so confident with the program and what we've set up that you'll love it, you'll get massive results, and then you'll happily pay the rest of the fees, because you would have had the money to do so, and you'll be absolutely delighted. So it's as simple as that. And if that's something interested in you, there'll be a button below this that you can look at the program. There's a bit more details about it if it's still available. So we do open it and close it at certain stages as we start the program, depending on when you're watching this video. The pilot one is starting in July 2020, so it depends when you're watching this video whether or not it's open. But if it's not, there'll be a button where you can click through to the page to have a look, or there'll be a bit where you can put your details onto a waiting list for the next intake. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's real valuable for you, and maybe open up your eyes to a couple of things or where you can make some changes. And and if there's any questions at all, then get in touch. But have a look at that program because it's fantastic. We go through a lot of stuff. So we go through literally how to develop a year's worth of content easily, how to structure when you do your content and how you do your content. And it's all about really driving business through driving and growth of your business through literally organic measures, rather than having to spend loads of money on Facebook ads or anything like that, or Google ads. But your clients are definitely out there, and it's just a way of easily getting through the noise so people understand what you do exactly. But the three key parts here we talked about was really key for Ruth to what she had experience and pieced a lot of it together for her. And because then when they implemented it, it got a real results really quickly, and it can for you too as well. So hopefully we'll see you on the call soon, or if not, I hope you found this really valuable and you've got something you can take away and implement.